2025 has been the year of the criminal, and the scammers are up right now in Ontario as a new scam has been unlocked where 41 people were scammed out of their money from major banks all over the GTA, where people came to their house and picked up their actual bank cards and then drained all of their accounts.
More people are being victimized by the bank investigator scam, where criminals pretend to be bank employees claiming to protect your accounts.
Durham police issued a warning after 41 people were defrauded, and Halton police say it's dealt with 53 reports of the scam so far this year. Here's Pat Foran with a consumer alert. Pat.
Thanks, Michelle and Nathan. It's a scam that's been around for a while. The difference is criminals are now coming to your home to pick up your bank and credit cards. Victims claim it seems legitimate because the scam callers know their name, their address and phone number, as well as their bank accounts.
Now, the story gets crazy. Like from when you heard here, 53 people have reported this case, but this has happened to over 90 people so far this year in 2025, and the year is still going on. But let's go through a couple of different incidents and a few different people's individual stories of how they got scammed for $32,000, $20,000, and way more.
There's some fraud charges that were happening on your card.
Kimberly Liu of Toronto says in August she got a call from someone claiming to be with her bank. The person said her accounts were in jeopardy. The phone number appeared to show it was from TD, and the caller knew her personal information, including recent transactions and people on her e-transfer list.
So that's why I was like, this sounds very legit. Only a TD Bank employee will have this kind of information, right?
Lou was told her bank cards had been used in a skimmer and they needed to be canceled and replaced. They sent someone to her home to pick them up.
I gave them my physical card to this courier in the envelope. And then I guess, I don't know what happened after that. They drove off.
As soon as they had her cards, they started to empty her accounts. She was scammed out of $32,000.
I literally went to my dad. I was like crying. We called TD Bank right away to say, hey, like, this is what's happening.
So from what you can see from this first case right here, we're not talking about an elderly lady or an elderly man who doesn't really know technology and can get really caught up in the phone scams and things like that. We're talking about young people who, for the most part, from what I think, might have some kind of brains, but you never know. Sometimes common sense isn't so common, and these scams are not being targeted towards the elderly. They're being targeted just towards regular people, college students, university students. And in the way that the scammers are getting at them, they're being so convincing. They're giving all of the information, and when you go in through your own account and everything checks out, hey, come pick up the card.
Hey, like, this is what's happening.
Looking back at the event, I don't know that I would have done anything different just because of how convincing it all was.
Mabel Perez Ramirez of Oshawa also got a call saying her accounts were at risk and her cards needed to be replaced. A courier also picked up her bank cards. She was scammed out of $20,000. She was shocked her account could be emptied without intervention by Scotiabank.
How has such a large sum of money been taken out all in one day, 1 to 2 days, and they weren't flagged about it?
And as you can see right there, we're not talking about one specific bank like the first case where they were talking about TD Bank. These are multiple banks throughout Canada, throughout the GTA. We're talking about TD, we're talking about Scotiabank, we're talking about RBC, all the different banks that you bank with. And from what this young lady was saying right here, it seemed like it was pretty convincing the way that they presented the situation. And like I said, when everything's back up with what the person is saying on the phone, then you're got already.
To avoid this scam, never give your bank information or PIN to anyone. Never hand over your bank or credit cards. If a caller claims to be from your bank, hang up. If in doubt, call the number on the back of your card. Both TD and Scotiabank did not reverse the fraud charges. Both victims say banks need to do more to protect their clients.
Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. That is insane. So you're trying to tell me after these scams went down, they're clearly scams. TD does not send out couriers. Scotiabank does not send out couriers to customers' houses. It's clearly a scam that's happened with these customers. One woman loses $32,000. Another woman loses $20,000, and they're not getting a refund. That is insane. y'all TD, all y'all banking institutions, y'all wrong for that. You need to reimburse them ladies because it's clear that it's a scam and it got on the news. Yo, y'all ain't right, man. Y'all ain't right, man.
There needs to be more pressure put on banks to be accountable for their role in this.
I was hoping to get a house in the next few years. And so with the credit card debt of that much, it's a lot of money.
Yo, that's crazy. They really got this woman in a bind right now. She's trying to buy a house and the banks are not trying to reimburse for this crazy scam right here. This is how you know, and reminds me of a case that happened way back, and I think it was with TD Bank and Factor, where I think upward of 1.2 million was stolen from the Factor fund.
And a Toronto-based nonprofit that provides grants to musicians says nearly $10 million was stolen from its bank account by a cyber criminal. The foundation assisting Canadian Talent on Records, or Factor, says Scotiabank should be responsible for reimbursing the loss. However, Scotiabank's lawyers argue that Factor's login credentials were likely obtained through a phishing scam or a failure to adequately protect the information.
Via some scammers as well. And I don't think that a refund happened with that neither. So this is something that needs a spotlight, because if you get scammed out there, and hopefully, you don't play yourself, and salute to these women. I know that, it sucks that this happened to y'all. I feel like if this was me, I would have hung up the phone right away. But, I really feel bad for these women right here. But if you get into a situation like this, just make sure to hang up the phone, because if you get scammed in any way, especially when it comes to money like this, they ain't going to reimburse you.
And the scam appears to be getting worse, so you should speak with your friends and family members so they're aware of it. Be very cautious of any calls, texts, or emails claiming to be with your bank, as chances are they're a scam. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
Yeah, so you heard Pat Foran right there, man. You got to watch who's calling you. These days there's AI to be able to clone phone numbers, and that's not even new technology. That's old technology to be able to clone phone numbers and, make it seem like they're calling from the different financial institutions. But let me know what y'all think about this scam right here, man. It's a crazy scam that's been going on for a while, but it's actually turning up. They've gotten at least 90 reports, at least 41 people have been hit with this scam right now. So who knows how much money they've already been able to sift off of this. Probably hundreds of thousands, probably millions right now for the ones that weren't reported. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Is this something that you have fallen for before? Are these women stupid for even falling for the scam in the first place? Or was the scammers really using their mind and it was something that they couldn't avoid? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I read all comments and try to respond to as many as possible. Hit that like button on the way out. We are off of this. Deuces. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.